fil naa ko de ma xam ne xëj na dafa bëgg a tekki moo tax parce que Europe moom soo gisee ñëpp di fa dem pour tekki moo tax.
ni ma toogee noonu maa ngi neer gaal soo si nekkee.
walillahi junudu samawati wal ardi wa kana allahu aliman hakiman subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al mursalin alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Amen. Shukran, Imam Jallo. Bishop, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Lord God Almighty, we continue to thank you for your goodness, for your mercy, your graciousness, your love, your protection over each and every human being throughout the whole wide world. We continue to thank you for those of us in this nation, the Gambia. And we thank you for the TRRC, and we continue to submit all the witnesses that will come here. And we do ask that of your mercy shall grant that all of them shall speak the truth, and you shall also grant the commission the discerning spirit to discern between truth and falsehood. And we continue to pray equally for the whole nation, the Gambia, and those that are in the diaspora, that they will have the spirit of patience and to allow the due process of the law to take its course. You being the just judge will grant each and every one their due portion in due time. This we ask to Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Bishop Odeko. Council, if we are ready with this morning's witness, you may proceed, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, commissioners, and members of the audience. Mr. Osha, kindly bring in the witness, please. I, Amadou Jogo Sow.
Min Amadou Jogo Sow.
Min Amadou Jogo Sow.
Do swear.
Min
Hudo.
I'll speak the truth.
Ko gonga mi halta.
Ko gonga mi halata.
The whole truth.
Gonga rek.
Gonga.
And nothing but the truth.
Mi halta do ko wona gonga.
Mi halta ko na gonga.
So help me God.
Yo Allah wallam.
Allah wallam.
Good morning, Mr. Witness.
Jawali Sede.
Welcome to the TRRC.
Moyema bismillah e yeso TRRC do.
Thank you for your willingness to testify before the commission.
Mo yettama e jabugol ma pour argo jonnira seedeyagal mangal do hande.
Before you commence your testimony, I wish to inform you that it is a criminal offense to lie under oath.
Fuɗɗade seedeyagal mangal mo faala ma faminde wondema e pour haala ko andandama heɓaki misal ko ɗum woni fenande e dow hiɗa waati ɗum ko baɗe bonɗe e nder loi.
It is also an offense to provide false or misleading information to the TRRC.
Kadi ko baɗe bonɗe kadi ko ɗum woni yeeso loi on pour haalugol jonnugol haalakal andanda wondema wona gonga e yeeso TRRC on ɗo.
Do you understand?
Nda a faami.
Yes, I understand.
Perhaps maybe you should sit closer to the microphone. Yes, so that we can hear what you have to say. Okay, Mr. Witness, kindly tell us your full names, please.
Amadou Jogo Sow. Amadou Jogo Sow.
What is your date and place of birth?
I was I am 51 years old.
And what is your place of birth?
I was born in Guinea, Conakry.
And being 51 years old, you were born in 1969.
1969.
Yes, that's it.
And you said you were born in Guinea Conakry, correct?
Yes.
When did you first come to the Gambia?
93. It was in 1993.
And could you and what did you do when you arrived in Gambia in 1993?
1993.
I was a trader.
You were born in 1969. You said you came to the Gambia in 1963. Sorry, 1993. When was the first time you ever came to the Gambia?
We da wanda ko 1969 jibina da 69. 1969 ko nen hitande jibina don. Joni arda e leydi Gambia dum woni 1993. Joni ko hitande honde woni hitande ido dande arda ka leydi Gambia do ko dum woni landade.
93. I came here in 1993.
Where did you grow up?
On to in Dandu don.
Bundu.
How old were you when you lived in Bundu?
Gende ma horu don Bundu ko dubi jël hebuno don.
I was around 20-something years.
So when you first came to Gambia, you were already 20-something years.
Hino ini gilande marda leydi Gambia
24 years.
gende won wa ini gilarde mardo leydi Gambia no wayni hari on hebi duubi no gasi nayi fawdi.
Yes.
In your statement here, I have it as that you migrated rather to the Gambia while you were a teenager. That's not correct, is it?
Statement ma duwoni halama ka jondirda kan ko winda ko bo yiton no windi wonda ma ari ka leydi Gambia do hari ka paykum.
On tuma ay habani taw duubi nogay. Yes, when I came here I was 20 years plus.
Okay, so it's not correct that you were a teenager when you arrived here.
No wayni ko winda don ko wi ko wonda ma ko arayno da do ka paykum dum no wona gonga.
Where did you live before you moved to the Gambia in 1993?
Hondo hoduno da do arde Gambia do 1993 ko hondo hoduno do.
I'm the one there, Baba, Liberia. I was staying with my father in Liberia.
And did you receive any formal Western education?
Nda am ajangi jangugol porto.
Oh, min ko Quran jangi. Read the Quran.
In 19. What did you do?
In the 1993 ko hundu waddo.
I started trading when I came to the Gambia.
In what?
Hondum esengo hondum wadi yeyeno do.
Mi do goro mi do bofo. I started by selling cola nuts and eggs.
And as at 2015, what business were you doing?
Hitande in 2015 ko business façon hombo wada no don
I'm the way the Coastal Road. I was sailing around the Coastal Road area.
And you know a person called Abbas Jaju?
inda hidande waji wetedo Abbas Jaju.
Yes, I know him.
Could you tell us how you came to know him?
Da hida way halande be ko honno hebondirda mako ha andondirdon.
Very briefly, huh?
Nder rabbina hatam ara juutinani.
Mi andu Abbas nder komi jindata ko min fotti tay himo mo moƴƴina affaire kaydiji visa. Well, I came to meet him when I was selling things on foot, going and coming. That's the time when we met, and I learned that he used to help people to prepare visa for them. Turkey. People who wanted to go to Turkey. This is how I came to know him.
Have you had any business dealings with him?
Da amedi hebidre mako business.
Yes.
And could you tell us what kinds of business dealings you had with him?
Da hida way halande yimbe ko façon business hombo hebondirdon.
Just very briefly.
Rabbindina
Our business kanye. Yes, our business between myself and him was in gold.
And you would agree with me that some of those transactions were somewhat dubious.
We ajabana mo wanda ma sifa den golle sifa den ko golle de andanda wanda ma ko golle tapale de yaran e lawol.
Tamo de ko tapale de yimbe ko dum wuri. Well, I cannot say that it is a dubious thing, but as far as he was doing it for a living, well,
some people believe in that.
Some people, that's what they do for a living.
I don't understand the answer.
He said that, well, some people do that for a living, to earn a living.
What I am saying is that those gold transactions involve some element of fraud.
We ko woni ko wiide sifa dem bi on business sifa nato gole mum mi sengo feccere mum dum non hare ko tappale woni e mum feccere den fo hare ko na ko feewi woni e mum
Yes, that's the way it is.
And in 2015, did you have occasion to travel out of the urban area to Basse?
We hit on the year 2015. Da hebuno arsike on puru ya hodo da kandar lady do ka dowri jito.
Yes.
And can you tell us what happened during that trip?
Da hida way halande yimbe ko hondu waduno ngal kodungal mako yaruno da ka dowri do kandar lady do ka dowri.
Ko kamye ka dowri ko sukano wi Saidu. So the reason why I went for that trip, I have a colleague or a friend called Saidu Sow. He called me in the morning. And he said he wanted to meet me. I told him I am presently far away from you. He asked me, when do you think you will be coming? I said, well, I don't know as yet. And we waited until around 2 p.m. He called me again.
What was his reason for calling you?
Initially, he didn't tell me anything. So, he called me around 2 o'clock.
But did you have a working relationship with him?
nda on seedu hiɗon heɓondiri musidal yaye e golle ɗen
miɗo andi mo ka Abbas mi andi mo kanko woni ka damal bureau makko. Yes, I knew him at the place where Abbas used to do his. In fact, he's the guy who sits at the door of Abbas trading place.
And he called you several times. Did he at any stage tell you what he needed you for?
Awi wanda mo noddi malla laabi duudi nda o haalanno ko hunnugo faala e jungo ma. O haalanno.
Yes, he let it.
He said.
I asked him, what did Abbas send you for?
We mo jogi kesuje hido jodi kayasi de alaka de mo fala lang yomi wallu mo yandi mi arana namode.
He said there are certain boxes out of his office which were placed outside, and he wants me to come and collect those boxes from the place where they are presently placed. I told him, as I told you, I'm very far away from that area, but I'm on the way. Then I told him that I have a junior there called Wuri.
My age mate, I have an age mate. I have an age mate.
Okay.
Called Wuri?
Wuri, yes, somebody called Wuri. Then I said to him, wait, let me call Wuri so that he can come there and we'll see him.
Okay. Why were you called to come and take these boxes?
Taki onoduma pour ara jettom di duma di kesuji.
Konon tungo no dirila halani la wi ko Abbas wi mo yo noddan.
Well, he didn't explain anything. He just told me that Abbas sent him to call me to come and remove those boxes from there.
At this stage, where was Abbas?
Abbas
was at the NIA.
What was he doing there?
At that time, he was arrested.
What was he arrested for?
At that time, I didn't know the reason for his arrest.
Did you later come to know the reason for his arrest?
Yes, I later came to know.
And what was the reason for his arrest?
He was arrested for money.
Was it for money or was it for money doubling?
Fi kale hinda ko fi febe be be kale simbe be yimbe be jonna be yamira wondama men jonna de do sa jonni men dudina ma mudu madin ko weta moni dogulin
min ko fi mbodi mi andi parce que bari mi hewti ton ko sa mi andi sa hay saydo ko noddi mi ko hala nimi wana Abbas nelim ko kanko ton ani noddi.
Well, I cannot explain, I cannot categorically say it was because of money doubling, but it was the time when I reached there. In fact, I came to discover that Abbas didn't send Saidu to call me. They were just a little bit distressed. That's why Saidu decided to call me. Then I learned that Abbas was arrested because of money, whether it was money doubling or I was not clear. They didn't make that categorically clear to me.
Mr. Witness. Just speak the truth.
I will tell the truth.
Abbas was arrested for money doubling, correct?
Abbas ko nangira kon ko duwani weta ko money doubling.
Yes.
Thank you.
Jara.
And you were called to help conceal some of the materials used in that process. Those included the boxes.
Oui. Kono dirala kon ko dum woni pour an ara wallabe suuda din kesuji ay din kesuji bagasuji woni ton ni ko dimbe nafitori be wadi ko be ligori di kalisiji ko Abbas nangira kon.
Yes, that's true.
And the reason why you were called and not anybody else is because you had a relationship with Abbas, correct?
We say lebe no dima ang tebe no dani goddo go angi Abbas we don wadi ni jungo e faandu wono ndi do juude mon don wado ni jungo e faandu ko non ne woni gollidude.
No me da ngandire ko no nana ni gollidude.
Well, we are acquainted, but it is not part of it that we work together.
On that transaction for which he was arrested, your testimony is that you were not working together with him, correct?
Munda hino wa ini ko nangira kon e anko seede aga ko wondira ko hollire do ko dum woni wila wonde ma ange makko on ala e gollidude.
Yes.
Please answer by saying something instead of
We say
something.
ajaboro tan haalu goddum acca wigol nundugol dan.
Yes.
So it is your testimony that on that transaction you were not involved at all.
We joni ko wonda kon kas jodida e seedita do ko dum woni Abbas ko nangira kon dum woni on ko nangira kon ko wonda ko jondira do ko dum woni an tawaka e mum.
Yes.
We will not concern ourselves with that. We will just focus on the things that happened to you after you returned to Banjul, correct?
Oui.
Okay?
Comme ça non ni wona ko men haajaka e ma angon kon ko heb ma kon yande ma immorda Banjul ko dum commission on haajora.
After several calls you received from Seydou, eventually returned to the Combos.
Wi gilende ma o Seydou nodduma laabi durudi daka sakkitor mum a rutiti no arda nder leydi Kombo.
Me Arno.
Yes.
6.
Yes, I came and I arrived in Combo here around 6 p.m.
And tell us what happened when you arrived.
Joni da wai haalande yimbe ko hondu wadi gilende ma hewtuda leydi Kombo.
As Said no dilang.
As far as it was said who called me,
Min mo joni honto wonda.
when I arrived in Combo, I asked him, where are you?
O mero ha turntable Alibaba.
He told me to come up to the point where they call Alibaba's stone table.
At this stage, had you already spoken to Wuri or not?
Wi o wattu do nda haldi o yide do wuri nda ko
Hari mi haldi e wuri.
Yes, I had already talked with Wuri.
And Wuri, what is his full name?
Wuri ko hondu woni inde makko dem tigil.
Madu wuri ba.
Amadou Wuri Ba.
Where did he live?
Honto hodi.
Ko da wol hoduna Sinchu Alaji.
He was resident at Sinchi.
What relationship did you have with him?
On wuri jo ko hondu woni hakkude mo.
O ari ka kango jippi ka dalle.
When he arrived here, I hosted him.
And what did you tell him?
Hondu yi'udamo.
Mi inni mo yo yettu oto ngo o yaha o yida e Saydou noddi kono min mi alado yo yawbe yida.
I told him to take a vehicle and go and see Saidou, because Saidou has called him, but I am still on the way coming. I have not yet arrived.
Was he only to go and see him, or was he to go and collect the boxes that were used by Abbas in his money doubling dealings?
Oui, nda ko yo yahutan o yida e wurujo wana na ko yo yahutan o yetta o yida o Seydou pour be wala fere be suudadi kesuji di andanda ma wonda ma Abbas ko dim nafito tadi kalsiji ko
Ko yo yawbe yida yetta kesuji de.
Well, the reason for him to go there was for him to go and see also Seydou, so that they can remove those boxes from where they were.
So, what happened when you arrived at 6 o'clock?
hondu wadi gilande ma hewtuda di wattuji jeego.
Mi do fala landinde ka wuri da taw.
I want to make clear.
I want to make something clear about Wuri.
Please go ahead.
Way fe yalude.
Okay, wuri jetti aton yayi ha hewti ton tawi Saydou.
Wuri took a vehicle and went there and met Saidou there.
Saydou holli mo box jebe.
Saidou showed him the boxes.
Mo dilan wi box jebe hejata ka oton wi'ata nabbude de min mi accude ton.
He called me and said, these boxes cannot fit into this vehicle. I cannot take them, I cannot carry them. I told him to leave them there.
Okay. Ka iwataton o arde box goto.
When he was leaving, he took only one box and came with it.
Woni bayro arde on box goto.
When he came with
me
it,
yidali.
what? Hold on.
Arde on box me yidanu.
When he took that box and came, we were unable to meet. I didn't see him.
When me ari mi noto inside the 6 on Alibaba ka Johnson.
Then around 6, I decided to go to Alibaba Junction so that I can see Saidu.
Mi hewti Alibaba mi gari tum.
When I arrived at Alibaba, I just parked aside.
O uditi bafe den chende den fo bonati.
They opened the doors and they all came in.
Who opened the doors?
Ombodi damelen.
NIA on
There were NIA people waiting. So the moment I parked, they just opened the doors and came in. And they are the operatives of the NIA.
How did they know that you are the person of interest to them, the person that Seydou was talking to?
honno kambe be andiri ben NIA ko honno be andiri wonde ko awwoni neddo mo andana ko abbe haajori ko awwoni neddo mo andana hida hebondirde o Seydoujo.
Be wonde Seydou.
And in fact, they were with Saidu at that moment.
So Seydou pointed you out to them?
Awahino wayni ko Seydou sappi be ma.
Seydou ni ko woni jogo.
Yes, Saidu identified me to them.
Okay, and what happened afterwards?
Gila du wadi ko hundu waditi.
On say be jippinilam be joɗini mi ka hakkunde ɗiɗo goto jooɗiga ɓe ƴetti o toon min yahi Banjul.
And that was the time ko moto maɓɓe yaadi walla ko to moto maɓɓe kamɓe.
So moto am ɓe yahi ɓe wondi e motoje maɓɓe kono ɓe nayo ɓe natuno ka moto am min yaadi.
They came with their own vehicle, but they came into my vehicle and I was sandwiched between two of them, and they used my vehicle to go to Banjul.
So did they change drivers?
That is Sansuno Dogino drive with the Dogino motor and the Sansuno.
Yes.
So what happened when you arrived in Banjul? Where in Banjul did you go in the first place?
Kunde hold on Banjul.
Banjul NIA.
We went to the NIA office in Banjul.
And tell us what happened there.
You need a Harande ko hondu wadi don gila hewdu don Banjul ka NIA ka hoggo mabbe don.
Men bay men hewti Banjul men natiri law bafal bawangal.
When we reached Banjul, we went through the back door and came into the NIA compound.
Men hewti be wi honto wuri.
When we reached, they asked me, where is Wuri?
Who asked you that?
The NIA asked me about Wuri.
Do you know which NIA operatives were involved in this?
Lamin Dabo. No. Basiru C. Balde.
And Balde.
Do you know Balde's first name?
Balde dandi inna konen.
Is he the same as Alassane Balde?
Kongo yete Alassane Balde.
I don't know his name really, but I just know that they call him Balde.
Proceed, please.
Yeah, that was you don't have
group parce que and there was a group because the moment we went into the NIA compound, there were many of them around.
Invest.
They said let them take me to a place called Invest.
That would be the investigation unit of the NIA.
Investigation.
Yes.
Proceed.
Well, after we went in to a room, they opened another inner door where we went in, and that inner room, the whole of the room was painted in red.
Was there anything prominently displayed in that room?
And then run suru don si ana gela na to don da ayuno to kadar suru don ko anda na hino desi na ma hino darna kandar suru don
yes
tawnoton tabal jandi.
I met a metal table inside the room.
A robinet.
Plus a standpipe.
A machine masirgo.
And an electrocuting machine, the machine they use, an electric machine they use to electrocute people.
Can you give one of that machine? What does it look like?
Machine dahi dawai halande be ko honno o way. Machine
machine non kay fondo wata andu to de parce que kaminati don tayna piji ni ndarde ko kambe mi suti. Well, nyala minato no don mi andu de taymi acciti andu de ko laabe baminati.
Well, when I went into that room, I became disoriented. I saw wires and some other people, but my main concentration was on these people who were inside there.
Was the room well lit, or was it not?
Red? Come again, will you Kekson?
The lighting in the room. How was the lighting in the room?
Sudu minder tong. Kohono tong no nipidi na hino lampu jadi no hino hukba.
Lampu no hukba tong.
There was a bulb on inside the room.
Was it well lit, just like here?
Or hino jalbi? No lumisa do no wa ini na hino jalbi ni no jalbi ni.
Lampu no jalbi.
Yes, the bulb was bright.
Okay, good. Proceed. And how many people were in the room?
Ko imbe njola wonno ko
If you can remember.
sida wayi manditade.
Nga tamantade hari bedudi.
I cannot remember because there were many of them.
Proceed, please.
Ila mi holli be kawuri woni. Min ni anda kawuri ben si mi hollali be kawuri woni. Mi holla be joni.
They asked me to show them where Wuri was. I told them I don't know where Wuri is presently staying. They said to me, if I don't show them Wuri, they will show me something.
Say the jetti duma handcuff jedem be handcuff lam aw.
And that the beating was so hard that I told them, okay, don't stop the beating, then I will show you where Wuri is.
What were they using to beat you?
On mundo no na fitorde ko be la piray no mako.
What be ko jude, what be ko duma hoy ranjang koy wa koy wa silvani kono sawadi koy ni ayahi koy yajo.
Well, the materials they used to beat me, some were using their bare hands, but some of them had something in their hands. They looked like metal, but they were flexible. These are the things they used to beat me up.
Do you know what is called leaf?
Leaf?
No.
All right. Okay. But was this tool that you talked about, was it made of rubber or was it made of metal?
Ko nda ko wiide di because be wonno ko
wire.
No go be wonno ko nafitorde hibe lappa ma nda ko poore dum moƴƴinira nda ko jandi dum moƴƴinira nda ko fil dum ko fil.
Ko jandi deppinande ni tappa handi deppidi.
It is, I think it is made of metal, but it has been made in a way which made it flat and flexible.
And what else was used, if you can recall?
Si feƴƴi din don ko halda don kon ngal be wonno nafitorde ko do ma ko e lappirde.
Be jogi kadi ko wa poreji wondude wa kom jandi no der ton.
They used rubber, but this type of rubber has metal inside it.
Okay. And feel kurani.
Just like an electric wire.
When you were being beaten, were you sitting down or did you lie on something?
Gila be lappa no manda ko a jodi no nda ko goddum e hore goddum wali no da.
Taban.
It was a table.
And how did you get on the table?
Honno be wadi habe hewtimma ka hore tabal.
Kambe wallini.
They took me and placed me on top of that table.
Were you tied to the table?
Habbuno maka do tabal.
Yes.
With what?
Honno be habbirma
be jogi boggi.
They had ropes in
belt
them.
center Jimmy.
They had ropes which they used to tie people with.
Did he say center?
belts.
Center.
Center.
That would be belt, right?
Yes, they looked like belts, yeah.
That's right. Do you recall who did that?
ndax ida wawi manitade ko hombo waɗi ɗum
Lamin Jata,
Lamin Jata
group Mako.
and his team.
This Lamin Jata you mentioned, is he different from Lamin Dabo?
o lamin jatajo mo wiɗa ndax himo serti o wiyeteɗo lamin dabo
Lamin Dabo mi falju.
I made a mistake, it's Lamin Dabo.
Lamin Dabo.
You had earlier on mentioned two other individuals, Basirusi and Balde. Were they also involved?
ɓawo haalino men inde yimɓe ɗiɗo ɗum woni basiru si kañumma yiyete baldejo ndax kamɓe kadi ɓe tawano ka tappirugol ma
Ibe tawa kono Basiru si non ɓuri lantampinde.
They were involved, but it was Basirusi who was more instrumental in the beating.
No said ani o warami.
He nearly killed me.
And for how long were you beaten when you were placed on the table?
bilandema ɓe ko hoore tabal e piwugol ma ngol ɗum ƴetti wattuji joluɗo e piyama
Ne wonno ɗon ko ɓuri leer goto e ko fawi.
It was more than 1 hour when they were beating me.
Did you sustain any injuries?
nda gila ɓe piwma ɓe bari a heɓuno e gañande e ɓanndu ndum
Moƴƴani.
Yes, I was injured.
Can you describe the injuries you sustained?
bara meɗe heɓuɗaɗe nda hiɗa wawiɗe hollirɗe e haalirde yimɓe ko honno ɗe wawno
No ka yitere an ɗo feccino.
Well, in front of me, on my face here, part somewhere there was a split on my face,
Cut?
a cut.
Jungo an gon ɗo kadi. Komi yaɓayno ko mbayɓe accitilamɓe wiyomin yaw ka ɗaɓɓitoygo wuuri ɓe ittuno ceenon. Kami ɓe naaɗi ɓe mi tuɗi jungo ango ɗum an jandini naati ɗo.
And I sustained a wound also on my hand because they untied my hand and said we should go and look for Uri. But they went on beating me. So usually I will raise up my hand to defend, to stop the beating from reaching my face. That was why I sustained this wound on my hand.
How about on your back? Did you sustain any injuries?
donc kadi a barmino
Yes, I sustained injuries on my back too.
And you said there was an electrocution machine.
awi wondema machine mo tan ko andana ko ɗum ɓe so e posi ɗo masirta yimɓe kadi
Was it used at all on this occasion?
ɗum on ɗon kadi ɓe waɗunoma ɗum ɗon kadi gila ɓe piyaynoma
Ngol laawol ɗon ɓe waɗali.
At that time they didn't use it
Ɓay min yehi ha min ɗaɓɓitoyi wuuri.
because we left that room to go and look for Uri.
Mi yehi ha ka galle ka wuuri luwi ɗum.
We went up to the compound where Uri was renting.
Min tawi
Was it the same day?
tako ni ñalande wotere nden
on jemma ɗon.
It was the same night.
Min yehi min tawi fermi courant.
We found the compound gate locked.
ɓe ƴawi dow ɓe udditi baafal ngal.
They decided to scale the fence and went in and they opened the compound gate from inside.
Min naati min ɓe ina suudu wuuri ndu.
We went inside and I identified Uri's room to them.
Lappi baafal ngal.
They struck on the door, they knocked the door.
Mawɗo koɗono toon on maari ñawdagol.
And there was a stranger in the room there who came here to seek for treatment.
Where did he come from?
hondo ewi
On ko Guinée Ivory.
He came from Guinea.
How old was he?
duuɓi yelo heeɓi
O mawɗo de heeɓi hono duuɓi 90.
Well, he was an old man. He could be 80 years old at that time.
70.
He could be 70 years old at that time.
Okay, ɓe ƴettimo.
They took him.
ɓe wari ɓe bugimo ka nder pick-up wal maɓɓe.
They threw him on board the pickup.
Mi yiltiti NIA.
Then he went back to the NIA.
Do you know why they picked him?
hiɗa andi
Old man?
ko honɗum waɗi ɓe ƴetti on mawɗo ɓe waɗi mo kadi remoto
Dole tum ɓe hollimo.
Yeah, they just used power.
Amin hewtiɗon ɓe nattinimo ka suudu to ɓe piyalmo ɓe naadoymo ka suudu to ɓe wi o jooɗo ɗon.
When we arrived at the NIA, they didn't beat him, but they took him to a room and told him to sit down there.
Was it because they couldn't find Wuri, so they took him instead?
Wana hiwa ini ko bao berong kuyi de wuri ko ndaki bena imo kanko. Ara ko dum.
Yes, that must be the reason.
They found him in Wuri's room.
Ita imo kan suru wuri.
Yes.
Did they ask him about Wuri?
Dabe landi no mo afaru wuri. Landi no mo wuri yalti.
They asked him, but he told them Wuri has gone out.
Okay. So, two of you and the NIA officers returned to the NIA, correct?
Non dido kanyum ligoro be NIA dem on foruti do yahudon NIA Banjul.
Yes. Yes.
And what time did you arrive there?
Montro watu wambo hewtu don tan Banjul.
Me hewtu to man 2.
We arrived at the NIA around 2 a.m.
And then what happened?
On du wadi gila dum hewtu don tan.
Naati mi kadi ka place da be pini seda men hucciti kadi be me yaw ka gallen.
When we went in, we returned to the room where they beat me before, and they beat me again and said we should go back to my own room.
And tell us about this second beating.
Jonda hida way halande be nde la pere dim mere ngari ko honno yaari.
Who was involved?
Ko hombo tawa e mum.
Kambe fap.
All of them.
Who is all of them?
Sa wi kambe fo ko hombo woni hombo e hombo.
Lamin Dabo a group makko.
Lamin Dabo and his whole team.
And who are the other members of the team?
Ko hombo kadi heji Lamin Dabo ko hombo tawa ton kadi.
Be adi do be leader balde o ya honno. Si
And
the group go bendo me anda in them.
Basiru C and the man whose name is Balde, and there were some others, a group which came. I don't know their names really.
Tell us about this torture. How did it happen?
Hida way halande be nde do la pere ko honno de yaari.
I bay men yiltiti ke kander suudu to.
So when we came back into that room,
we lambay mi hollata be wuri.
and they said, so far I refuse to show them Wuri.
John non si Allah jabi.
So by the grace of Allah, they will deal with me.
Nangi mi be pin mi don be pin mi ha be walli min be addo saku.
I was beaten so severely that they placed me down and they went and brought a bag.
Benadi mi kander saku ton be happy.
I was placed inside this bag and they tied the bag.
Bugi kale pompi.
And I was placed under a standpipe. And this standpipe was opened on me. They were still beating me and this water was coming on me from the standpipe. I was beaten there until I became unconscious. The time I became conscious, the time I woke up, I saw myself outside. I didn't even know the time they took me out of the bag. By that time, when I opened my eyes, I saw Abbas standing. Saidu was there. And somebody else called Kamara. Ibrahim Kamara. And all of them were so severely beaten that you can just you can know by looking at them. And again they said we should return to my house. We went back to my house.
Was this the next day?
That same night. That same night.
But this would have been in the morning.
It was around 5 a.m. When we reached my house again.
But before that, in your second torture, did they put anything in your mouth?
Yes. They put some onions in my mouth. These onions were forced into my mouth.
Do you know why that was done?
I don't know.
Okay, all right. How many times did you faint when you were being tortured?
ɗi laabi ɗo fof ko ɓe lappayno ma kon ko laabi jelu ɓe lappuma ha anda ka wonɗa ha faɗɗaɗa laabi ɗiɗi.
It was on 2 occasions that I fainted.
And the first time was when they put the onion in your mouth, correct?
Folon premier ko ɗum woni wattumo ɓe lappunoma ha ɓe ƴetti basallere nden ɓe ukkukande hunduko ma.
Yes.
And the second time was when they put you in the sack and they opened the water tap on you, so the water was dripping inside on you whilst you were inside the sack.
Awi ɗum mun ko ɗum woni wattumo ɓe piwnoma ha ɓe ƴettuma ɓe natima ka nder saku ɓe lowima ka nder saku ɓe haɓɓi saku ɓe hawkoyema ka ley pompe ɓe udditi pompe nga hoore ma.
Yes.
Tell us, how did it feel while you were inside the sack and the water was coming onto you while you were in the sack? How did it feel?
Wikoni nda hiɗa wawi haalande ɓe gilande ɓe waɗuma ɗe baɗa ɗum woni ɓe piwma ɓe waɗuma ka nder saku ɓe haɓɓi saku ɓe yahi ɓe bugoyma ka ley pompi ɓe udditi pompi on e hoore ma nde ɗan ndiyam hibbayno e hoore ma hiɗa ka nder o saku honno on yiruɗa hoore ma e nder on saku honno ɗum wa'uno e ma.
ɗum faɗɗinimi tawi popale am ɗin ala hewtondirde.
This is what made me faint, because at that time I was unconscious of whatever was happening around me.
Did you have the feeling that you were drowning?
Da ayi uma e hoore ma wondema hiɗa lumbude
miɗo
hiɗa lumbude koye ndiya umma e wonɗa hiɗa lumbude.
ɗum kay kami wonno ɗon no hulɓini.
Well, at that stage it was really scary.
No, the question is, did you have this sense while that was being done? Did it feel like you were drowning?
O wi ko lande ko ɗum woni gilande wadde waɗuma e on saku ndiyanda no hibbo e ma nda ɗum arno e nder ma mi e ma nan wawma ni koye maayo wonɗa hiɗa lumbude nder.
kaymi ɗo wawi wasi mi yoloto woni.
Yes, it exactly looked like somebody who is drowning.
Okay. So on this occasion you also fainted a second time?
Wano wayni ngolɗo ɗimmal kadi ɗum ɗon kadi a faɗɗano.
Yes.
So it was after this that what happened after that? Sorry.
Ila ɗum ɗo waɗi ko honɗum waɗiti kadi
min yahi ka galle am.
That was the time we went back to my home.
ay min yewti.
When we reached the home,
konki bafal fence o.
and they decided to knock on the fence, the compound gate.
Tawi ngarde pick up nayi.
And that time we came with 4 pickups.
Auto am
Was my own vehicle.
ɓe gurmen ka galle ɓe udditi.
The ladies came and opened the door.
Tawi baba no waali toon.
In fact, my father was lying inside the compound at the time.
ɓe yalti.
They came out.
Fuɗɗi haalude min no baba acce ɓeɗo ko haaju maɓɓe addi ɓe.
They started talking, but I told my father, no, you just keep quiet. These people are here for their own business.
Yilan tun maɓɓe fuɗɗi wullude.
But when they set eyes on me, they started crying.
Ɓe naati ka suudu ɓe lanci kala ko woni nder toon ko waɗi importance ɓe ƴetti.
They went into my room and ransacked everything inside the room, and they took some items that they had interest on.
What were those items?
woni honɗum ko
miɗo wallini toon miɗo jogii coffre fort anno toon tawi miɗo waɗi toon mbuuɗi.
I had a coffre fort, ko ɗum woni
kon ɗum coffre fort
one briefcase ni walla.
A safe.
Yeah, okay. I had a safe there where I had some money.
How much?
jelu
eyi miɗo acci ɗon mbuuɗi ko soodete bagage bin janngo mum guluja temedere.
I kept 100,000 there. 100,000 dalasi, huh?
Dalasi.
$100,000 inside that safe, because I put it there with the intention of going to buy more merchandise the following morning.
And what else?
Ɓe ƴetti ɗum fof e piiji buyi.
They took that plus many other items.
Téléphone ji si ɓe
Phones.
But before then, before all this happened, did you see Abbas?
ɗum ɗo fof waɗde nda a yiwno o Abbas.
No.
You still have not seen Abbas?
ha joni a yiyani Abbas.
sina kaɓe piimi sakkitol mum kaɓe waɗinmi ka saku kaɓe yaltinimi ka saku ɓay mi fini mi yiɗi Abbasi Ibrahima Camara Saydou Sow.
The only time I saw Abbas was when they put me inside that sack and put me under the standpipe. So I fainted, but when I woke up, I saw myself out of the sack. When I opened my eyes, that's the time I saw Abbas plus Humbo
Ibrahima
Camara Saydou Sow were standing. That's the only time I saw Abbas.
Did you have a conversation with them?
Abbas ko ala wota wolambe ka wuri woni tabe ware.
Abbas told me only one thing: tell them where Wuri is before they kill you.
Did he say why you had to show them where Wuri was?
No, halan no ko hon taki o yuma wanda ma ya halan be ko hondo Wuri woni do be waru dam da halan ko hon taki o yuma dum
wala lede. No, he didn't tell me anything except that.
Did they tell you anything about a box?
Da be halan no affaire kesu
Be halan no la box no ay Wuri jogi
Yes. They asked me about the box that Wuri took. That's why they said, let me show them where Wuri is.
And as a result of that conversation, what did you do?
Johnny, edo nda yotere ko hebudu dai maɓen ko honɗum waɗuɗa an
men noddi ɓe number Wuri on soni.
Then we called Wuri's telephone number and the phone rang.
We keso angal no wali e suudu ɗon yahanengal.
Wuri told them that the box is inside his house, let them go for it.
Yeah, men tay box angal ɗon.
We went and met the box inside the house there.
Jetti box angal men hoti.
He took it and left.
Men hoti e nayi.
When we reached the NIA,
but before this, did you meet any woman who was associated with Wuri?
on kono ɗo e ɗum nda on taw on yiwduno e debbo mo andanda wondema himo jiidi e Wuri.
no.
Do you know who Wuri's girlfriend was at this time?
On jaman mo wonde nda hiɗanno ko hombo wonno e kele Wuri.
No, mi anda.
No, I don't know.
Was any woman arrested for having connection with Wuri during this period?
Nda ɓe nanguno debbo wandandama wondema ɓe soɓiti wondema himo famodire e Wuri te himo andi goɗɗum yo fiiɗi box uji.
Ɗum ko ɓayru men yalti woni lebbi jeetati men yalti.
This happened.
Mi andi ɓe nanguno debbo ɓe nanguno kadi mo Wuri hoɗidi ka galle ton.
Well, this was after 8 months when we came out. They arrested Wuri's girlfriend and they arrested another lady who was living inside the same compound with Wuri. That's what I know about it.
Okay, so your story is on this particular occasion, after all these beatings, you were told that they're looking for the metal box that was taken away by Wuri. You went to Wuri's house to fetch the box, correct?
Awa hino wa ini koko be waɗuma ɗum fof ngal piggal ngal ɓe waɗuma ɗum fof ɓe accituma ɓe yaaduɗa e maɓɓe Wuri yiiɗa ɓe yaaduɗa e maɓɓe ka Wuri holluɗa ɓe o box jandijo ka suudu Wuri.
Wona ka suudu Wuri box wangal wonno ko yaasi.
The box was not even inside Wuri's house. It was placed outside Wuri's house.
Okay, but you went to Wuri's home to fetch the box.
Ono ko galle ka Wuri ka hoɗi ɗon ko ɗo yahuɗon yuɓuɗon ngal box keeswal.
Yes, that's why we went for the box.
All right. And then what happened afterwards?
Joni ko honɗum
joni ɓamen arti NIA.
When we came back to the NIA,
udditingal ɓe tawi kono bloc je ɗiɗi e nder ton.
when we opened the box, we found 2 blocks inside the box.
What do you mean by blocks?
si awi blocks on ɗum firdi
Cement block ni
Cement blocks.
2 bricks.
2 bricks.
ko ɗum men tawi ɗon on sawi on C si on say naadi lappe mi karedo. That was the time yaltinali o box mi warete hande. Mini mi o box mi yalimo mi anda memal mi anda no way.
And she came back to me and hit me very hard on my stomach, telling me that if you don't produce this box, we will deal with you very severely. I said to him, I don't know anything about this box. I didn't take it. So what is the matter now?
When was this? After the box was found or before the box was found?
What hombo hebi ko gilende ma box case wangal ya ko do wal yede.
Box wangal kawi'a ngal box wal
That was after they brought this box and opened, but they said it was not the box that they were looking for.
Okay, so they thought there was another box and that you are to produce that box.
Awa hino wayni kambe be sikki wonda ma wanangal case wal be woni dabbi to joni ko am foti jaltinde ngal case wal ngal be woni ngal dabbi do.
No, exactly.
But in the meantime, do you know where were the other boxes that Seydou Sow talked to you around?
Wona joni ha fa hondo on wattu ka wonno non nda an hida anduno de case uji di heddidi di andana ma Seydou ko di wonno ma haalande fi mi nda hida anduno kadi woni
ari be jogindiri di ka bureau ma be invest do.
And at that time they brought these boxes. They were placed on top of each other in their office where they call invest.
So this other box that they were asking you about, you did not know anything about it?
Awa hino wayni ngal do case wal ngal be addi ngal do ma landa da fi mungal anda hefus e maggal.
Yes.
This Lamin Dabo, do you know his whereabouts now?
O Lamin Dabo jo ni ka wondo nda hida andi ko honto o woni?
No.
Do you know whether he's still at the NIA?
Nda hida fami wonda nda ni ha joni himo liggo NIA?
Mi anda.
No, I don't know.
How about Basirusi?
Basirusi no?
Mi anda.
I don't know.
How about Balde?
Balde no?
Balde maybe for to the Banjul.
Balde, we met in Banjul on one occasion.
Men salmondiro mawdo yafode wana men kadi wana golleng.
Then
Men yanira.
he apologized. He apologized to me and said to me, well, please forgive me. We also were acting on orders. It was not our own will that we were dealing with. We were doing these things to you.
At the time you were being tortured at Invest.
Invest.
Do you know who was the head of that office?
Invest.
Well, what I know about the whole thing is Lamin Dabo and his team were the people who tortured me.
Okay. On this occasion, when you returned to the NIA with the box from Willis' house, you opened it, it contained only 2 bricks, and you were again attacked by Lamin Dabo. What happened afterwards?
We joined Goldo Lawol, Glendama Yahudon, Kawurito, Adon, Gal case wall, Adon, the case one gal the Uditi, case one gal could Udingal, Betawiton, the brigade. Johnny Glenn, the brigade, and Johnny, oh, Lamin Dado, he peer Hora Makadi. Come do what it get a
Don't buy long, that's it, but yet me no Benaboy Kasudu, Kamentai long Abbasian, Buba, Golla custom.
Then after that, they took me out of that room and took me to another room where I found Abbas and a man called Buba who used to work at the customs.
A camera, a Saiduso, a Yumbabi,
plus Kamara and Saiduso and a lot of other people.
Yes, proceed.
On say, we are timid on having been the Subaka Bar, the getting me Benatica, Laptani Matadon.
They left me there till in the morning, and in the morning they came for me and took me to their own medical center.
Where is that medical center located?
It was inside the NIA premises.
And why did they take you there?
Because I sustained injuries. That was the reason why they took me there, so that they can take care of my wounds.
And did you receive any medical attention?
Gila bena umatong hebu no nyang dugol tong.
Yes, they dressed my wounds and they gave me paracetamol to drink, plus some other medicines.
Were you released afterwards?
Gila min feji be akidu no.
Released me, they took me from there. And we were taken to remand.
But how long were you at the NIA before you were sent to remand?
Joni do be jeto dama do bena ma remand ga kasoto ko wattu ji jeli hebuda e jungo mabbe ton ka NIA ton. Adame hebi ton lebbi jego e ko fawi.
But before going to the remand, we spent 6 months plus some days at the NIA.
And where in the NIA did you spend those 6 months?
Nder NIA ton kandre hongo mabbe ton sengo hongo hebuda de balde lebbi jego balde foto ko heddo honto wonu da emo inani men ton ay mo ka duto kami walo.
They prepared some places for us there where we used to sleep.
And
the room we sleep in is always filled up to the brim with other people.
That was a cell, right?
No, I never say Luigi. I don't na cell, parce que me yalta me jodo ya sidom. When got the anda me denton me yoti data family ami yatami me yata got.
It wasn't a cell, it was some sort of an open room where we used to stay. But in the morning, sometimes they will allow us to come and sit out because our family members are not even aware of where we were. They don't know where we were. So we were just kept there like that.
So you never had the opportunity to speak to members of your family during this period of your detention?
Awa hino wa ini waktu mawono da fo jungo wa betonge jungo ahebani lawongol wawa yidude musidal masako yewta e mabbe ay goto hay ko men borno ko men borni ko men upata men lila men borno.
Even a single member of families were not allowed to see us or to talk to us. Even our clothes, we have to take them off, wash it ourselves, dry it, and put it on again.
Were you given any bed while you were there, or bedding, something to cover yourself when you go to sleep?
What mo wonna don tango ndabe jonu no ka walo don si wona dum gade ko mbajuje ko sumoro don mojoro don.
Yes, they gave us something to place on the floor, to lie down on, and something else to cover ourselves.
How about food?
Nyamete on no. Nyamete the German got to be 75.
As for food, everybody will be given $75.
Men itira ko no gaje, men so ira no gaje, men hitira no gaje.
$25 for breakfast, $25 for lunch, $25 for dinner.
Were you taken before a court during that period?
What tomorrow now I do not know. That made man up as soon as room. And the way to know men because so do not go direct remind Benabim.
The day they removed us from there, we went directly to the remand wing at the prison.
So you are not taken before a court during that 7 months of detention?
No, they didn't take us to any court.
You said you were personally tortured several times. How about Abbas and Seydou Sow? What happened to them?
Johnny no, o Abbas no, kanyum may Seydou Sow, ben non kuben kadi da wodi ko be wala. Abbas me wonno bar lenyande tay o piyama de be nyande mi finuno kam be tilanka sako. Kami be don tay ko piyabe ha bam mum ben.
The day I was put in a sack, after I woke up, I saw myself out of the sack. When I opened my eyes, I saw Abbas and the others standing. Just by looking at them, you will know that they were severely beaten because you can even see it on their bodies.
kadi mi wonɗo ha ñande sappo septembre.
We were there until on the 10th of September.
Aroyi 3.
They came around 3 o'clock.
Jetti Abbasi.
They took Abbas.
Jetti Saidou.
They took Saidou.
Nabi.
They took them away.
But
when they were brought back, again, all their bodies were, there were injury marks on all their bodies.
Do you recall who took them?
They used to change duties. These people were picked up by other members of the same operatives who worked there and taken away, and they were dealt with and brought back. Well, when they were brought in that night, because they were so severely beaten that when they came, as far as there was a kettle in the room there, I decided to warm some water for them, and I took a soft cloth which I took to dab their wounds on their bodies so that the bleeding will stop. Then after some time, when the bleeding stopped, we stayed until in the morning when they were taken. And in the morning, they themselves came and picked up these people and took them to the hospital.
Was this the only time you know that these two individuals were tortured, Abbas Jaju and Seydou Sow?
Dako wat don wonno wat mo andan faamu da wonda Abbas Jaju kanyum men Seydou wonda be piyama ko wato taw woni mo anduno da be piyama
ko mi Seydou gite an kon kono ko be wala ni mikon parce que Abbas nanga woni balde tati simin nanga tayo tampi.
What I witnessed and what Abbas later told me was, because Abbas was arrested 3 days before I was arrested, but what I witnessed was this time when they were tortured, as I said.
While you were at the NIA, did you see other people tortured, apart from Abbas and Seydou?
What mo wonno down NIA si feji Abbas kanyum men Seydou nda yiwi yimbe wobbe wonda wobbe be anda ma be piyama ton kadi
kam won ton de mi wiwada be diten ton buli kono piyabe banu men pirano on Saidou mi ali.
Well, there were many people detained who I saw being brought in there, but the beatings that we endured or the beatings that we encountered, I didn't see any other person being treated like that around the area where we have been detained.
During this period, did you come to encounter any of the senior officials of the NIA?
What form wonno da ton nda what hebike mo andanda ma wondama hawrondiri ma a fewtondiri be yimbe yesobe mabbe ben woni yeso mabbe NIA ton ben
ñande julde o yetedo Yankuba Badji warno ton e kanko e gardobe mo ben.
Yes,
kamen wonton.
On the day of Eid prayers, the man called Yankuba Badji came there with his bodyguards.
Oui, on ya fotode on si on juli on toroto Allah ndaron si tawi Allah hoynana on be accita on min namin jogi onde.
What he told us was, today is prayer day. You also pray and pray to Allah so that they can release you people. But I want to tell you people that I am not the man responsible for your detention here. You can pray to Allah so that you can be released.
O jetti o yayo inni gardo makko goto wiyaw adana ben ngari bali gotil ko be wada tabaxi.
He told one of his bodyguards to go and bring a goat so that we also
Bali.
Okay, he told one of his bodyguards to go for a sheep which we can also come and slaughter and eat because of the prayer day on that day.
Did he know that you were tortured?
da andu no wonda ma on piyama
andi
Yes, he knows.
Why do you say that?
They were all there. They know.
Si be pine si be jettu dana yaltina tay be dari be rentime and the time
After these tortures we went through, when sometimes they are taking us back, we used to see them standing and they will look at us and know what we've gone through.
And that includes who?
All the heads of that place.
And
that day nobody slept there. They were all standing outside the rooms at the NIA compound there.
Like who?
Yankuba Mendi.
Yankuba, Mendi, my dog. Mendi, the person who passed away, Mendi was there too. Luis.
Before I read Mianda in the band, only the Miandi in the Michael.
I know these two people's names, but they are genius. All of them were there.
Good. And this old man who was taken from Wuri's house, what happened to him?
No mawdo mo andan ma wanda hibe jettimo kan suudu wuri ko hondu wadi mo
Moto lebbi jeddi mo jodi to.
He was there. They kept him there for 7 months.
You told us about Wuri's woman having also been arrested, his girlfriend. Can you explain more?
Then I didn't witness her arrest, and I was not at that time in the hands when she was arrested. So this is why I don't know what happened.
Okay. So after 7 months at the NIA, you were transferred to remand, and then what happened after that?
We stayed there for another 2 months. And that was the time when we were bailed.
Were you prosecuted?
Yes, we were taken to court.
And what was the outcome?
The trial went on until last year.
And what was the outcome?
Jojo wiwo kanko o yaali hunde ko wata men jogirade loi on forsama yo accutumen e kadi o accitimi.
The judgment that the judge said when he gave judgment, he said that, well, he has not seen any evidence why they should keep us there. So the only thing he can do is follow the law and release us.
Lawyer ang tigi time bari meden ton lebbi fayda lebbi jena mi hebali ko mi yobamo ko mi fuddi mo tum hani mi gaynal mo yobude.
Even my lawyer, I was unable to complete his payment because we were there for all these 9 months. I cannot even continue paying him.
Ke hay galle ko kaydi galle ko mi belira kon no tomba ko lawyer on do andi hande o yahanali bari mbudi makko din timali.
My compound deeds are still with them because as far as I was unable to complete the payment of my lawyer, he was unable to go and collect these documents from them.
Because he is the one who is supposed to go and collect the compound deeds.
And did your detention have any other impact on your business?
Joani nangol ko nangada ko fop wat mo be jodi ma on la goro ndadum hebi carele ko jodo business ma
no fof. All my business deals were broken. My family suffered.
Thank you very much. No further questions.
Ajarama o wi joni ko ko dum do e bamma.
Thank you, lead counsel. Thank you, witness.
Oui, deputy kia ko woni hikki e kiamano o mo ajarama council ba ajarama kadi seede on e seede yagal mangal jonirdangal.
Commissioners, if you have any questions.
joni himo landade commissiona benda wodi e mabbe kala hebru ko hebu ko landoma no wayi mo landade e dow ko halda do ko.
Commissioner Samba.
Commissioner Samba o wi mo hebi ko mari ko landotoma.
Amadou.
O wi ma Amadou.
Mi de jarama ya fanala.
She's saying thank you.
Mi fali ma lamdude 100,000 ko lamin dabo jetti ko kebe rutino ma kalis ma o.
I want to ask, the $100,000 Sidal Lamin Dabo took, did they return it to?
Oh,
No,
Vetali.
I didn't get that money.
Anna to lamin woni ka alamdani mo mbudi di ha joni.
Anda ka woni mi jantal mi alima go.
I didn't set eyes on him. This is why I was unable to ask for my money. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Samba. Imam.
Commissioner Imam si on kadi landarama.
Amadou on jarama jof.
Thank you, Amadou.
On ji tampere mawne.
You people have encountered serious suffering.
Kono mawdo ma o kadi wonda mo cadele.
Your father, did he also encounter any problems?
Kono mo cadele mawde.
He also had some serious problems.
I coming one of five.
Because I was the only sustainer of the family.
Thank you, witness.
My
question is in relation to your title deeds. If the lawyer could not retrieve them on your behalf, why did you not go to the, how do you call it, NIA to ask them for yourself?
Ko be hadum ya NIA kay wada haynire ka damal ma be do mi ndare tatum na fi mi ala on fit ani na to volto
NIA, I'm so scared of them. Even when I pass their compound gate, I daren't look around that area. I'm still afraid of them.
Kadi ko high court mi bela wona kamadde.
And secondly, I was bailed at the high court, not at the NIA.
Documents are with the high court.
So when Kaidiji Madam ko high court
the high court.
Yes, they are at the high court.
Okay, commissioners, chair. Bishop.
Thank you, Madam Deputy. Mr. Amadou Joheso.
Bishop Amadou Jogosow.
When were you actually released by the court?
Damgal nya wore on ko waktu hombo be accitima.
The corona.
I can say it is this year.
It
was in this year that I was released. At the beginning of the year.
So was it that the case was dismissed?
No, dal ko nyaworende ko be radinde ko be wopudum be yaltini nyaworende. Yes, it was dismissed.
Well, in that case, don't you think you should be able to go and request for your title deeds from them?
Sita ko no yari dum non awawa yade landa dum en kaydiji ma galle sita ko non yari
yayi ton be yomi kaydi kom yaltiri konka court yomi nabundi ka umato mi nabi ton be wadi windi ko windata kom mi ari mi jonni debbo jonni to kaydiji din o windi ko windata kon fo o wilan ndi kaydi ko yimbe dido waandi arande ma joma mayri illa sinadum loyama.
I tried to get those papers. When I went to the High Court, they gave me a paper, and the lady wrote some things there. As you know, I haven't gone to school. What she wrote there, I don't know. They told me to take it to another place. When I went to that place, they also wrote something, and I came back.
Now they told me that these papers should be collected by the people who brought them here. So this is why I was unable to lay hands on these documents.
Thank you. If there are no further questions, witness, you can address the commission if you have anything to say. Thank you.
Joni non wayri ɓe lamdoɓe ma ɓe pari joni an kala ɓe hokkima lawol pour leɓa haalana yimɓe ko woni e nder ɓernde ma e ko haalanta yimɓe leydi ndi ko yiiɗa kon ɓernde ma ko moƴƴani leydi ndi ko moƴƴani yimɓe ɓen
komi wawi wiide yimɓe leydi ndin Trrc on hollijama on golle moƴƴe.
What I can say to the people here, especially the countrymen, is that Trrc is doing a wonderful job.
Holli jama on kala ka wonɗa heɗamari gonga ma on sa woli moƴƴema.
And they really showed the people that if people really have their rights, and it is the people's rights to speak the truth, whatever happens, let them always be truthful.
And
if you do that, they don't beat you, they will not insult you, they will not create any problems for you. And that really made me very, very happy. We are very happy about the job you are doing. So I will pray to Allah to protect you and bring progress into whatever you are doing. This is what I can tell the Gambian people.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Saul, for your testimony. We'll take a 30-minute coffee break and come back at 12:05. Sorry, thank you, Deputy, for deputizing. I had to.
Ajara matigi Amadou Jogo Sow, me weltani mabui. Ko jabuɗa kon ara okira seede agalma min weltanima ɗum ɗon minen kala meɗen ma ñagana.
Sorry, I had to take an urgent phone call from Geneva. Sorry. But anyway, thank you so much. And at 12:05 we come back. Meeting is adjourned.
foog nga nekk di neer surprise na parce que moom dafa nekk nit koo xam ne nit yu ruskat la te ñemewut tamit moo tax man tam bu ma déggee comme dafa dem si yoon bi dëgg-dëgg surprise na tamit suma xel bi tamit toogutoon bu ma yégee ne comme gaal bi dem na te si yooni ndox lay nekk di dem. maa nekk maa ngi wuccu soona naa si gaal bi first day moom dama over soona dama soona.
dama fële Faat Fall ma dajee moom si tanduku la ma wax faafale ut fii ma ne ko fu ngay dem foofu léegi lay dem pour dimbale suma yaay.
xanaa guddi bi daf dee métti moom trop suñu jigéen ñi.
easy wut toon moom easy wut because man géej naa nelaw depuis dee bu mu dipaatee mu dem.
biñ génnee baara di dem ñu ngi am Mauritanie foofu la dem after gars yi ñu gis ne comme am na gaal bu am accident soo óorut pour ñu war ñoo bàyyi ñun tam ñu continuer noonu la ñu gars yi téye.
métti woon na nag métti woon na trop xalaatoon naa ko parce que loolu mos nit soo juree sa doom nga yar ko di nga xam ban façon ngi jikko ban façon ngi nit la.
dajale neen xaalis foofu def neen li ñoo suñ mobile yëpp leen dajale pour jox ko gaay rek ndax ñu mun ñoo bàyyi ñun ñu continuer. xeexuñ xuloowuñ saaguñ leen dañ fa nekkoon rek man moom jooyuma defuma dara waaye am na si ñoo xam ne ñu ngi nekkoon di jooy.
lijjanti ko ci épisode bii di Tambala si sirisu gàddaay yuñ leen di indil koleel sa bët ci sa télé seetaanal ma Fatou Fall mu nettali ñu jaar-jaaram dinañ leen ko indil fii si GTTV samedi
19 si weeri novembre
2020 fàttalekul ne Babylon mu ngi fii si Jolof waaye nag ci bokk gome Tambala yoonu gàddaay.
yaa Faatu's Guest House yaa Faatu's Guest House dama ne jox leen ma seen noppay yéen ñi nga xam ne ni bëgg ngeen a dem Farafeñe nag ñu bari den fay bëgg a dem di xalaat ndax am naa mbokk am aw ma mbokk fan laay dem dëkk ak fan laa du dem dëkk seen coono jeex na seen xalaat jeex na te si biir yaa Faatu's Guest House ñu ngi leen fa amal li nga xam ne ni moom mooy c'est ko self container
saala cabinet
ñaari cabinet ak saal
single room
néegi nag nekkul ne la naa jox waaye duñ leen laaj mooy sore naa ñëw indiwaale leen seen yére kese ndaxte yére yi sax foo leen koo def ñu ngi leen ko amal saala cabinet yi bu nekkaa nga am lal bu nooy saal bi ñu ngi ko defar ba mu yaaña toogu yi nekk fa télé bi nekk fa channel bi nekk fa channel bu la neex ngay cuun waaye nag amuñ si loolu rek yéen ñi nga xam ne yéenay dem ak seen famille ak seen njaboot benn nit wala ñaari nit ñu ngi leen fa amal waañ yu baax waañ yu yaaña bagage yi waañ yëpp ñu ngi fa yow yaay xool loo bëgg a tooga rek nga teg si gaz bi daal di taal tooga lekka sa xol sedda
léegi tamit nag aman lañ leen lii di AC ak ñu nga xam ne fan rek lañ am waaye amuñ si loolu rek ñu ngi leen amal fu nga xam ne foofu ngeen di toog ngeen fiixlu seen xel dal ñu ngi leen amal ndox ak courant 24 hours amuñ si loolu rek njëg bi yomb ba bëgg a dee
fu ñu nekk nag neex a xam ba bëgg a dee si gannaaw gaaraas si base bi foofu sa Farafenni lu néew rek ngay dox am si marché bi jënd loo bëgg delluwaat sa kër ak Yaa Faatu's Guest House mun nga noo jokkoo ñun si 790 1355
35 30 489
email si ombay7843@gmail.com si Yaa Faatu's Guest House soo leen fa demee dinañ leen jox customer care service bu baax seen xolay sedda ba ni ngeen fay jógee Yaa Faatu's Guest House Yaa Faatu's Guest House lii leen amal yéen ñuy dem Farafenni saay boo leen tëddee nelaw leen ndaxte Yaa Faatu's Guest House génne na seen coono bi yëpp fii si biir